Hello, I'm Brian Fox. Welcome to I Hate Rock Music. And today I'm going to do a series of groups that are spin-offs, basically, of the Captain Beefheart band or have some associations with them. And I'm a huge Captain Beefheart fan, always have been, one of my biggest musical heroes. And a lot of these projects are really interesting. So, a lot of them have elements of Captain Beefheart's music in them. And so I always found that intriguing. It's a very specific language the Captain Beefheart band uses, and so it shows up in a lot of different places. One of the more obscure connections with Captain Beefheart is a band out of Lancaster, California. They existed from 1969 to 1973, called Rattlesnakes and Eggs, and a great band name. And of course, it definitely conjures up connections with the wacky world of Beefheart music. And apparently they were wacky enough that Captain Beefheart himself wanted to work with them and produce them. He envisioned a production company called God's Golf Ball Productions, and so he was really interested in working with the band. And between 1969 and 1973, Captain Beefheart's drummer John French worked with the band, and so they obviously would have some intriguing rhythmic aspects to them if John French is their drummer. And the whole lineup of the band is Marty Prue, Keith Kennedy, Russ Fouch, John Thomas, and Tim Myers, with the guitar, bass, drums lineup, and then two horn players. And so the possibilities are endless. There's a couple tracks I've heard. Um, the band themselves posted one song called "Think I'll Fly," and I'll post that below. And then there's another one that popped up on their Facebook page. And yes, indeed, they have a Facebook page, and there's lots of great information on there. And they've done numerous reunions over the years. But another intriguing character from the Rattlesnakes and Eggs band is a guitar player named John Thomas, and he actually shows up on John French's Drumbo solo album, which I'll also be doing a video on. And so we get a glimpse of the fact that he definitely is a very capable guitar player and probably did some interesting Beefheartish material. So everything I've heard, which is only a couple things from Rattlesnakes and Eggs, from an unreleased album called "I Do Believe the City Brings Me Down," which is of course a great title. And I'd have to hear the whole thing to see how wacky they get. But obviously with the drums, guitar, bass lineup, and then two horn players, there's a lot of possibilities. And of course with John French in the band, the rhythmic possibilities are also very intriguing. But you see early pictures of them, and they were definitely influenced by the whole vibe of Captain Beefheart. There's a couple pictures of them wearing a lot of wacky costumes and masks that are very reminiscent of Captain Beefheart, and so they're worth talking about. And I know there's a CDR out there that the band released, but I haven't been able to get a copy. It's listed on Discogs, and there's no copies, and it's not for sale, but it is out there. And the two pieces we have show that they definitely have that kind of Lancaster, California vibe, hippie music with wacky horn charts and wacky vocals, and definitely that whole scene of people that came out of Lancaster, California at the time, including Jeff Cotton. Um, that whole scene was pretty intriguing. So anyway, Rattlesnakes and Eggs, definitely way low on the radar, but just the fact that they have a Captain Beefheart connection and John French played with them makes it something I want to hear. So I'll post a couple of tunes that I haven't been able to find down below, and at some point, hopefully, I'll get the CD and hear what their whole vibe was. But some of the reunion shows, you definitely get a glimpse of the fact that they definitely had some interesting rhythmic elements, great use of horns, and John Thomas is obviously a really good guitar player. But they're known and beloved in their community, and they're still out there plugging away. And they have a Facebook page, so if you want to check out all kinds of wacky stuff by them, there's a lot of video posts from reunion shows and some pictures from the good old days. And so there isn't quite a there's quite a plethora of material out there for a band that barely barely existed or is barely on the radar. once again, you know, they were around from 1969 to 1973, and John French played with them a lot after he left the Beefheart band. And it's really a shame that something didn't happen or they got signed to Straight or Bizarre Records. So there's a couple of bands that unfortunately missed out being on the Straight Bizarre label by Frank Zappa. Of course, the Hampton Grease Band being one. And now we have Rattlesnakes and Eggs. So anyway, thanks for letting me jibber jabber about a band that nobody knows about. I'm Brian Fox. Thanks for watching I Hate Rock Music.